Well, floodwaters have overwhelmed low-lying parts of Laplace, where families trapped in their homes are still calling for help.
Abby Larico has been following this story this morning and joins us with more. Hey, Abby.
Hey, so 911 lines are lighting up with calls for help, many from Laplace, where heavy flooding is overwhelming these homes, sending people to the attic, the roof, anywhere they can stay dry. The problem is St. John Parish officials say it's still too dangerous to send out their rescue crews. So people are turning to social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. People are sharing addresses of those needing rescue. I talked to Darian Hudson, who's in Houston right now. She's been all over Twitter tonight trying to get help for her grandparents.
I'm doing well. Learned about my grandparents.
So what's going on with your grandparents?
So pretty much, we were just at home relaxing, and we got a call from my aunt saying that their house was being flooded and that they were being rushed to the attic right now, or a few hours ago. So I got on social media and I posted their address, saying that they needed help, that it was 2 elderly adults and a puppy, trying to reach out and see if anyone could give us some help. So very grateful for social media these days. So I posted my tweet and people are replying, sending me numbers for the Cajun Navy, the parish that's out there, and pretty much.
So she says essentially getting some of these phone numbers really helped her know what to do from afar. So she's been sending messages to all sorts of people, and she says right now she's feeling okay. Her grandparents' phones ran out of power eventually, so she hasn't talked to them in a couple of hours, but first she was able to let them know that they're on a couple of lists with the Cajun Navy, so she's hopeful that they're going to get out sometime tomorrow. She says also they are praying people, so she's hopeful that her grandma's spirits can stay high while they're staying in high ground right there.
Wow, that's such a scary situation. I can't imagine how helpless she feels, but so many people going through that situation right now can't get in touch with relatives, especially in that area.
So many. I was mentioning Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They're all kind of, you don't typically think about posting addresses on these platforms, right? Well, that's pretty much all you're seeing if you look up Laplace right now is the addresses of these people. Sometimes it's somebody who has a little power on their cell phone. Maybe it's from a couple of hours ago saying, I'm trapped here, I have kids, I have pets. Other times it's somebody who's gotten a hold of a loved one and they're reaching out on their behalf. Other times though, you're seeing people just see somebody else's post and share that. So they're sharing these addresses, really hoping to get some attention to these different addresses and hoping they can wind up on these lists as well. Cajun Navy phone numbers, by the way, are also being passed around quite a bit.
Wow. I can't even imagine being trapped in your house. Some people whose houses aren't multiple stories, climbing up into the attic. My attic is so hot when I go up there to get anything down. There's only one way out, so it must be absolutely terrifying. And we're looking, it's 2:41 in the morning. It's so dangerous right now because it's dark, so there's still so many more hours of these people just being completely terrifying. We're hoping the water's not still rising, just waiting for dawn to break and hopefully people getting out there soon to rescue them.
And hopefully with dawn means that not just the Cajun Navy and the people with boats who are going out there, but also some of these emergency officials who say they really do want to get out there and start helping people and start bringing people to safety. Safety, by the way, it depends on where you're going and who picks you up. I was talking to Darian and she said she believes her grandparents would go to a local high school once somebody finds them and picks them up and brings them there, but they're also counting on them being able to get a hold of someone's phone that has power and service once they get there to let one of their family members know. So even family all over the country right now is really invested in that, and then multiply that by so many other families right now.
This is one of those situations, guys, where social media is great.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to bring up. You found this young lady through social media. You mentioned how people are posting that they need to be rescued on social media or looking for others on social media. This storm, of course, hit on the 16th anniversary of Katrina, which is just, completely eerie for so many people that same date. I was 16 back then. I remember looking for relatives you left, you couldn't get in touch with, who you thought might need to be rescued. Social media wasn't really a thing then. Cell phones weren't working. We looked for relatives. My grandmother but for weeks, this was so many people, and I think this is why this situation is so triggering, this storm, for so many people. But social media has helped and advanced things, even like search and rescue missions in so many ways.
Right, and especially in these moments where people are trying to stay connected, my goodness, how much do we have to do that over this past year, right? Learning how to connect with people. And then I think these are, I don't want to say silver linings because I don't think we're at that point yet, but just seeing how many people are getting on social media and using their platforms to reach out to people on behalf of people that they don't even know, but they are seeing what they're saying about having kids, elderly relatives, pets even, needing some of this assistance. And that gets amplified, and you never know who knows somebody who could wind up being the person who shows up at your door with a boat.
Sure. You brought up the Cajun Navy, just a beautiful mission that they are out there to help folks. We always say in the worst of times, right, we see the best of our spirits. And as you said, folks out there who are just sharing this on social media because they want to help. Well, Abby, we were talking earlier, you're from St. Louis, you work in St. Louis. Was this your first time experiencing a hurricane?
First real hurricane, and I mean, as it's been said so many times before, you know, you experience one hurricane, you can't say you've experienced plenty of other hurricanes. I was in North Carolina for a storm a couple of years ago. That was a tropical storm by the time it hit, and even then, just experiencing being out there, you realize winds alone, and then that gave me something to gauge what we're talking about when we say 110 miles an hour. If I was being blown around by the ones in the 70s, being here and even just hanging around in New Orleans proper in the French Quarter here, it is really something to behold.
It is. Well, we appreciate you being here to help, guys. We have some of our reporters from other Techna stations around the country helping us. Abby Lurico, one of them. Again, she's from St. Louis. Thank you so much for being here and for this great story. We're wishing the best for this young lady and her family.
And hey, just a motivator, if you see somebody's post like this, go ahead and share it. You don't know, you could be helping them too.